Hi everyone, how are you today? Welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, this is Hoang, the code expert. Today, I am going to show you how to build an ICD-10-PCS code from scratch. If you are planning to take the CCS exam, the CPC H exam, or if you are currently working as an inpatient coder, then learning how to build a PCS code is a must. One of the biggest struggles students have with PCS coding is understanding how all 7 characters work together and how to translate a procedure title into the correct PCS code. That is exactly why I created the ICD-10-PCS Made Simple app. Instead of creating an app that only helps you look up a code, I created this app to help you understand the nuts and bolts behind the code. Because once you understand the structure, PCS coding becomes much easier. We are not just looking up codes here, we are learning how PCS coding actually works in the real world. So, let's get started. Now, before we start building a PCS code, I want you to understand why assistant PCS is so important for inpatient records. For outpatient procedures, coders usually assign CPT codes for the procedure performed. However, for inpatient hospital records, we use ICD-10-PCS codes instead. And let me tell you something, assigning the correct PCS code is extremely important. You can have all diagnosis codes coded correctly, but if the PCS code is incorrect, the case may group to a completely different DRG. As a result, it can affect the hospital reimbursement and DRG payment. That is why understanding PCS is a critical skill that every inpatient coder must know. Now, take a look at the screen. This is actually an image from the ICD-10-PCS Made Simple app that I built to help you understand how a PCS code is constructed step by step. PCS codes contain 7 characters. Each character represents a specific element of the medical procedure being performed. These characters can be numbers from 0 to 9 or letters from A to Z. However, the letter I and O are not used because they can easily be confused with the number 1 and 0. As you can see on the screen, each character has a specific meaning. Section, body system, root operation, body part, approach, device, and qualifier. Once you understand what each character represents, building a PCS code becomes much easier and much more logical. And that is exactly what this PCS Made Simple app is designed to help you do step by step. All of the sections on this slide represent the possible values for the first character of an ICD-10-PCS code. Each section identifies a different type of procedure or service. The most important section for inpatient coder is medical and surgical. This section is used for most inpatient operative procedures such as excisions, resections, bypasses, insertions, repairs, drainage procedure, and fraction reduction. Obstetrics is used for pregnancy and delivery procedures. Placement include caths, splints, and traction devices. Administration includes transfusions, infusions, injections, and irrigation. Measurement and monitoring includes procedures such as head catheterization and physiologic monitoring. Extracorporeal or systemic assistance includes procedures such as mechanical ventilation and hemodialysis. Imaging includes CT scan, MRI, ultrasound, fluoroscopy, and diagnostic angiography. Nuclear medicine includes PET scan and radionuclide imaging. Mental health include psychiatric treatment procedures. New technology issue for new devices and procedures that do not yet fit into standard PCS section. However, most inpatient coders will work primarily with the medical and surgical section, along with sections such as obstetric, administration, measurement and monitoring, and extracorporeal or systemic assistance depending on the encounter. Now, let's move on to the second character, which is the body system. The second character identifies the general body system and anatomical region where the procedure is being performed. For example, if the procedure involves the heart or coronary arteries, you would select the heart and great vessel body system. If the procedure involves the femoral artery, popliteal artery, or iliac artery, you would select the lower arteries body system. Now keep in mind, this slide only shows the top portion of the available body system. There are many more body systems included in the app when you scroll down further. That is why understanding anatomy is extremely important in ICD-10-PCS coding, because selecting the wrong body system can lead to an incorrect PCS code. Once you identify the correct body system, then you can move on to the next character of the PCS code. Now, let's move on to the third character, which is the root operation. And honestly, this is probably the most important character in ICD-10-PCS. Why? Because the root operation tells you the objective of the procedure. In other words, what is actually being done to the body part. This is why you cannot rely only on CPT terminology when coding PCS, because PCS use completely different terms to describe procedures. For example, in CPT, we use the term thrombectomy, but in PCS, the root operation is extirpation, because you are taking solid matter, such as a thrombus, out of a body part. Another example, in CPT, we use the term biopsy, but in PCS, many biopsies are coded to the root operation, excision, because only a portion of the body part is being removed for diagnostic purposes. That is why learning the PCS root operation definition is extremely important. You must understand not only the term itself, but also the objective behind the procedure. As you can see on the screen, there are many different root operations in PCS, and each one has a very specific definition. Also keep in mind, this image only shows the top portion of the root operation available in the PCS Made Simple app. There are several more root operations listed underneath when you scroll down to the app. That is why when you read an operator report, you should always ask yourself, what is the real objective of this procedure? Once you understand the objective, selecting the correct root operation becomes much easier. Now, I understand that many students get confused between CPT terminology and PCS terminology because the terms used in PCS are very different from what you are used to seeing in CPT coding. That is exactly why I built the root operation training section inside the PCS Made Simple app. As you can see on the screen, you can click on any root operation term such as excision, resection, extirpation, drainage, bypass, fusion, supplement, reposition, and many others. Once you click on the term, the app will explain the official PCS definition what the root operation is actually used for, and provide a clinical example to help you understand the concept in a real-world setting. This makes it much easier to understand the objective of the procedure instead of simply memorizing definitions. Now, in the next slide, I am going to show you exactly what you will see when you click on one of these root operation terms inside the PCS Made Simple app. Now, let's look at another important root operation, which is extirpation. This is a great example of why PCS terminology is so important, because in CBT we often use the term thrombectomy, but in PCS the correct root operation is extirpation. The official PCS definition for extirpation is taking or cutting out solid matter from a body part. The key point here is that the body part itself is not removed. Instead, you are removing solid material from inside the body part, such as a thrombus, stone, or foreign body. The app also explains the definition in plain language and provides clinical examples such as thrombectomy of the femoral artery, gallstone removal through ESCP, or removal of a bullet fragment. This is why understanding the objective of the procedure is so important in PCS coding. And finally, at the bottom, the app shows you the PCS character value for extirpation, which is the letter C. Now, let's move on to the fourth character, which is the body part character. The fourth character identifies the specific body part or anatomical site where the procedure is being performed. The body part values available in PCS are directly related to the body system selected in the second character. For example, since we selected the heart and great vessel body system, the available body part option now relates specifically to cardiac anatomy and coronary vessels. You will also notice that PCS can become very specific. For example, coronary artery body part values may be based on one artery, two arteries, three arteries, or four or more arteries. That is why reading the operative report carefully and understanding anatomy are both critical skills for inpatient coders. Once you identify the correct body part, then you are ready to move on to the fifth character of the PCS code. Now, let's move on to the fifth character, which is the approach character. The approach describes how the surgeon accesses the operative site to perform the procedure. This is very important because the same procedure can have different PCS codes depending on the approach used. For example, open means cutting through the skin to directly expose the body part. Percutaneous means access to a needle or catheter puncture without fully opening the site. Percutaneous endoscopic is the laparoscopic approach using small incision with a scope. While natural or artificial opening means the procedure is performed through an existing body opening such as the mouth, urethra, or anus. External means the procedure is performed on the skin or external body surface without entering the body. That is why inpatient coders must carefully read the operative report to identify how the physician performed the procedure before assigning the PCS code. Now, let's move on to the sixth character, which is the device character. The device character identifies whether a device was left inside the patient at the end of the procedure. If the device was used during the procedure but removed before the procedure ended, then it did not coded as a PCS device. For example, internal fixation devices include plates, screws, pins, and wires during fracture repair. Intraluminal devices include stent and vascular graft placed inside a vessel or lumen. Drainage devices include jet tubes and surgical drains. You will also see no device, which means nothing was left inside the body after the procedure was completed. That is why inpatient coder must carefully review the operating report to determine whether a device remained in the patient at the end of the procedure. Now, let's move on to the seventh and final character, which is the qualifier character. The qualifier provides additional information that further describe the procedure being performed. For many PCS codes, the qualifier will simply be Z, which means no qualifier. However, in some procedures, the qualifier becomes very important. For example, the qualifier X represents diagnostic and is commonly used for biopsy procedures. That is why inpatient coders should never ignore the seventh character, because sometimes the qualifier provides critical information that complete the PCS code. And now that we have gone through all seven characters, you can start to see how ICD-10 PCS code are built step by step and how each character works together to fully describe the procedure being performed. Now that we understand all seven characters, let's use the PCS Made Simple app to build a real PCS code step by step. For this example, we are going to code an open cholecystectomy, which is a surgical procedure to remove the gallbladder. As we go through the app, I want you to pay attention to how each selection fills in the next character of the PCS code. This is how you take a procedure title, break it down, and build the code with confidence. Before we start building a PCS code, let me quickly walk you through the layout of the PCS Made Simple app. This is the main page of the app. At the top, you will see four main tabs. The first tab is the PCS code builder. This is where you build the PCS code step by step by selecting each character value. The next tab is root operation training. This section helps you learn PCS root operation terms and definition. For example, when you click on the root operation excision, the app shows you the official PCS definition, plain language explanation, visual concept, and real clinical example to help you understand the objective of the procedure. The next tab is quick reference. This section gives you a quick overview of PCS section, common use, approach definition, device category, and example to help you understand the PCS structure more clearly. And finally, the About tab provides information about the app and its educational purpose. Now, let's go back to the PCS code builder and start building the code for our open cholecystectomy case step by step. First, an open cholecystectomy is a surgical procedure, so we will choose medical and surgical as the first character. Go ahead and click on it. Once you click on it, the number 0 automatically fills into the section box at the first character of the PCS code. Second, for the body system character, the term chole refers to the gallbladder. So we will scroll down and select hepatosystem and pancreas because this is the body system related to the procedure being performed. Go ahead and click on it. Once you click on it, the value F automatically fills the second character box. Next is the root operation character. The procedure is a cholecystectomy. The suffix ectomy means removal of the entire gallbladder. So we will scroll down to the root operation term and look for the definition that match the objective of the procedure. You will see the root operation resection, which means cutting out or of a body part, and that is exactly what is being performed in this procedure because the entire gallbladder is removed. Go ahead and click on it. Once you click on it, the value T automatically fills the third character box. Next is the body part character. Since the procedure involves removal of the gallbladder, we need to identify the correct body part value related to the gallbladder. As you scroll down to the available body part option under the hepatobiliary system and pancreas body system, you will see the term gallbladder. Go ahead and click on it. Once you click on gallbladder, the value 4 automatically fills the 4 character box. Next is the approach character. Since this is an open cholecystectomy, the surgeon makes an incision to directly expose and remove the gallbladder. That means the correct approach is open. Go ahead and click on open. Once you click on it, the value 0 automatically fills the 5th character box. Next is the device character. For this procedure, no device was left inside the patient after the gallbladder was removed, so we will select no device. Go ahead and click on it. Once you click on no device, the value Z automatically fills the 6th character box. Now, we are at the 7th and final character, which is the qualifier character. For this procedure, there is no additional information needed to further describe the procedure, so we will select no qualifier. Go ahead and click on it. Once you click on no qualifier, the value Z automatically fills the 7th character box. And now we have successfully built the complete ICD-10-PCS code for an open cholecystectomy. 0 F T 4 0 G G. I hope you are following along well and starting to see how this app not only helps you build PCS code step by step, but also helps you learn medical terminology, anatomy and physiology, root operation, and the logic behind PCS coding. That is why this app is more than just a code builder. It is a complete learning tool for anyone who wants to master PCS for inpatient coding work or certification exam preparation, such as the CCS and the CPC H exam. That is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. And if you learned something from this video, please don't forget to click like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Your support truly motivates me to continue creating more educational content like this. And if you are interested in purchasing the PCS Made Simple app along with additional exercise case studies, they are available on my website codingwithhoang.com next week. Until next time, have a great day.